Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. A few days ago, a former minister of Buhari and a former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amaechi, took out time to talk to Nigerians in respect to the level of hardship in the country. And he's shocked that up till now, Nigerians have not decided or have not made that decision of hitting the street. And he also talked about political issues and the likes. It didn't go well with the current administration under Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and though we've also heard reactions from different quarters, the like of Shehu Sani has spoken, Sowore has also spoken. Some believe that he should be the first, to hit the street so that Nigerians can join him. However, APC has decided not to fold their hands, but to come to the rescue of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and they are doing this via the office of one of the ministers in Nigeria, precisely the Minister of State for Defense, Dr. Bello Mohammed Matawale. And according to the news, Matawale has condemned recent statement made by Rotimi Amaechi, accusing him of inciting violence and unrest among the Nigerian populace. Amaechi recently said that Nigerians should be protesting against the hardship in the country. Matawale, in a statement released by the Director of Information in the Ministry of Defense, Henshaw Ogunbike, which was obtained on Saturday, issued a stern warning to the former Minister of Transport, urging him to desist from making inflammatory remarks that threaten the peace and stability of the nation. Matawale expressed deep concern over the dangers posed by such rhetoric. According to him, he says, it is both reckless and irresponsible for a former public servant of Amaechi's standing to incite Nigerians against their own government at a time when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is working tirelessly to address the challenges facing the nation through various reforms that are yielding results. It is absurd, preposterous, and shameful for anyone to exploit the genuine situation of our citizens for selfish public gain. The minister reiterated President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's commitment to safeguarding the peace and security of every Nigeria, warning that any attempt to destabilize the country through incitement will not be tolerated. According to him, and I quote his words, he said, "We will not allow anyone to fuel violence or manipulate the prevailing situation of our people. Let this serve as a final warning to Amaechi and his cohort." It is expected that Amaechi join hands with the government to move the country forward rather than choose to stay aside with myopic assertion. The big question is what he said Rotimi Amaechi told Nigerians to do. Was it a myopic assertion considering some of the policies that the government have rolled out? Now, guess what? It's not just Amaechi alone that is talking about this. We've also heard the likes of Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi. They have also spoken about the harsh policies that the government is bringing forth, especially as it has to do with the almost on a monthly basis increment in the price of fuel. Yesterday, Atiku called Bola Ahmed Tinubu the T-pain, that's Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that's Tinubu T-pain. And so many people almost went on media rampage, getting very angry about that. Though we've also heard from the wife of the president that the husband knows nothing about the current situation but is trying to deliver Nigeria from it. But the big question is, was that what he told Nigerians when he stepped into the office of the president? My colleague is in the house, and we just want to deliberate about this move by APC against their own, who have decided to, swim against the tide by fighting or talking against the present day difficult situation that we found ourselves. What's the standpoint on the fact that APC also, via the office of Minister of Defense, have decided to slam the person of Rotimi Amaechi?
Yes, indeed, Rotimi Amaechi is an APC member, but don't forget that Rotimi Amaechi never supported Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That particular position was equally run. He also contested against it, but he didn't win. And when he couldn't get the ticket as the flag bearer, of course, Wiki said it openly that Rotimi Amaechi worked against Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Rivers State, and he too, Wiki, worked against Atiku in Rivers State. So whoever won the case, it was obvious that Bola Ahmed Tinubu won. But then again, saying that fighting their own APC to APC, the question is, even in APC, there's fracas, there is actually divisions and factions. It's a case of, it's a party where many gladiators, but just that among the gladiators, there's one ruling, which is the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's faction. So every other one would just have to be quiet and calm and wait it out. Amaechi just shocked that she's so surprised that Nigerians can be this patient and calm and taking things in their stride. That was why Sowore asked him, you that you are shouting that Nigerians should have, are you people keeping quiet? Are you not among those two in the past dispensation of Buhari that we started this retrogression movement? So why are you playing innocent card? Why are you playing as if you are not part of the government? It's just that, well, as it is now, over time, we have discovered that if it doesn't favor you, you now become a very major opposition. When it favors you, the government is doing well, the government is trying, we should be patient with the government. But once it is not favoring you, the government is not doing well. So sometimes some of these politicians become main opposition when it is not actually their main person that is actually in the chop position. But did Rotimi Amaechi say what Nigerians are facing? Yes. Indeed, he said it. The policies are really anti-people. So they will tell us to be patient, be patient, it's sacrifices that we must endure to make Nigeria better. But the question is, are they also sacrificing? That's the big question. Now, they gave minimum wage of 70,000 naira, but is really 70,000, is that 70,000, is it really taking anybody home? How much is fuel? For those who have children, who have family, how are they coping with food? Food security is almost non-existent. For the rich, it's nothing really. They probably wonder why the poor really screaming and shouting. But for the poor, it's not funny. It's the worst time ever to be alive in Nigeria, simply because things are tough, things are difficult, prices are skyrocketing. We are not yet in the U-time. We're not yet in festive period. It is like this. Imagine during festive period. And there's so many Nigerians out there that are underemployed and even unemployed. All of these we are looking at, and we are trying to cope insecurity. We need to get real here. And the only thing that the president can do right now, and that will reverse the situation at least 60%, is to just bring back subsidy. I'm not talking about subsidy by the backyard. Take the fuel back to 200 naira. But the question is, he has gone far too far. He has gone far too deep for him to think about returning this fuel subsidy, which means we have entered it once and for all. But the sacrifices he's making, because we keep hearing sacrifices, but he's on loan, he's borrowing loans, and those loans will be repaid. And moratoriums are running for the now. By the time the full repayment will start, coupled with the fact that we are really not producing anything, our oil here, our petroleum is not really giving the way it ought to give. We are not exporting anything reasonable. The gold that should have been equally allocated by all Nigerians from Zamfara and the rest, it is not. It's just in the hands of very few. You just discover that Nigeria is, honestly, beyond prayer point. Nigerians really need to look at Nigeria and look at how they will salvage the situation, because it's really getting out of hand.
All right, thank you very much. But then the last question I feel we should look at this point. Do you think that Amaechi, talking back at the president, do you think it's all about he's not in government, or because the situation is so glaring? Virtually everybody, it has come to a point that even APC members are also talking against the current administration. Do you think that it all boils down to because I did not get the seat, I need to fight against you, I need to stand with the opposition to fight against you, or it's a genuine complaints from him, considering how things are going on?
I think it's very genuine, because even as a rich man, as a rich dude, as a rich elite, the number of poor people now coming to beg you is alarming. Before now, we used to have a bit of a middle class. You may not be rich, you're not totally poor, but right now, even the middle class are now among the poor. You can imagine how much is a bag of rice. Some places, how much is Gary, that is a staple common man food, is no more common. Some places is 5 cups for 1,000. We have never I have never thought in my entire life that Gary will one day be 5 cups 1,000 naira. Haba, it has never gotten to that level at all. Bad, no matter how poor it is, at least you should have Gary in your house. At least you drink Gary, put sugar, put granite.
Poor man's food now.
That now is even out of the reach of the poor man. So you now see that to a great extent, he's also feeling it. Forget the fact, as he is, he's a big boy. He can't be poor. So let's leave sentiment aside. He's being paid salaries for being a former governor. So he can't actually be poor. But he's looking at the average Nigerian, because the people that are supposed to remove from poverty, more Nigerians have entered into that poverty index, which means it's a very serious matter. And even if you're the very elite, how many elites around can you bring out from the poor? How many elites will bring out poor people around them? So it's really worrisome. And they believe it's just a matter of time. The poor will begin to look out for the rich to also look out to survive.
All right, that's where we like to leave it. Let's meet